Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Submitted by Batik. It's his alliance mate Ricky P's defense. If you want to submit one of your alliance mates' defenses, that's fine. I can do their defense anonymously and just put a code name so that they know what I'm talking about. Or we could trash talk them directly if that's what you want to do. I don't mind. We grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. Team number 1 of Ricky P. Wow. Okay. This is obviously some people that they're not investing in and just throwing it in here to fill an empty slot. Probably newer players have to do a lot of this. Here's the thing. Excuse me. Here's the thing. A lot of these characters have some very good value, okay? Namor is great in war on the Dark Hunter team. This guy is great for Dormammu counters, all kinds of stuff with that energy steal, into Doom, all kinds of stuff that you could be using him for in clutch picks. And then you've got the mutant raid team, which so far we don't have anything better than the full 5-piece Axeman. So all 5 of these people could definitely be invested in. I think the mutant raid team, especially if you want to get into those Doom raids. So feel free to build these up. Now, let's take a look at what their ISOs should be. I think level 5 skirmisher to make his thing stick. I think Raider is great over here. This needs to be changed to a skirmisher. She needs to be a skirmisher. He can be a healer, but I definitely think he should be changed to a skirmisher for his team. So you would have 4 skirmishers and a Raider would be their native ISOs. But like on this, which is just a mishmash of people thrown together that doesn't even operate very well, I mean, you wouldn't want to put in the wrong ISO. It's not worth it. There's no synergy with this team whatsoever. So this is just junk filler that you tossed in, and that's okay. But you do have the wrong ISOs and no ISO over here. So let's get those changed to the native ISOs, and then as you start to develop these pieces, you can replace this defense. I'm just gonna go with a C. This is nothing special. It's definitely not done right either. So moving on to team number 2. Again, a filler team, no ISOs, no excuse for that. You should at least put 1 ISO on this team, and it should be a skirmisher, a healer, and over here healer also. Wow. And then Raider is what I like on Graviton. You can also do striker for him coming back into those vulnerables, but really you're gonna have 3 healers, 1 skirmisher, 1 striker. That's probably the way to go. You already have him war ready, so leave him there. You could invest in this team if you wanted to waste all of your resources, because there's no value here anymore. Every one of these people has like 20 tunes in front of them that do something better. I know there's going to be some people that argue that Scientist Supreme still has some value. She doesn't. She doesn't. Just stop. Stop altogether. Don't use her anymore. Okay, placement though. Let's put Scientist Supreme to the outside, and we'll put... Actually, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna swap Scientist Supreme with this person, whatever this Assaulter. Yeah, swap Assaulter and Scientist Supreme for the proper placement. She heals adjacent to the person with the lowest health, so it doesn't really matter where you place her. But yeah, you want the other 2 minions inside because they do adjacent stuff. Let's put some ISOs on it, and then just don't touch the team. Honestly, I mean, man, it's, you know, it's just a filler. I'm gonna go with a B. You didn't waste anything, but I would like you to see at least the proper ISOs in level 1 on each of those guys. Number 3 is the Web Warriors. You're not getting anywhere in the Scourge event, are you? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. This team, you have to invest in this team. They're brand new for the bio section or the city section of Doom raids, and they're absolutely necessary for MLF. Yeah, you just have to build this team. You don't have any ISOs on them, so let's go over what your ISOs should be. For most cases, your ISOs should be Raider on Scarlet, Striker on Miles, Raider, and Raider or Skirmisher, your choice. Some people like the Skirmisher to make sure they get the stun. I'm kind of leaning towards Raider these days just for more damage out of the team. But basically, it's Striker on Miles and Raider on everybody else. I do some different things, but I do weird things, so don't listen to me. I mean, listen to me, you know, just don't do what I do. As for placement, your placement's not great. Let's swap places with Miles and Punk. You want Miles in the middle so he turns invisible and splits the team in half. And then, yeah, so get those ISOs started and start building this team. It's a very, very valuable team, and you kind of you want to take advantage of it now because it's kind of new, and that's when the value is for teams like this. So I'm going to give you a B because there's no excuse for no ISOs on this team. Honestly, they should definitely, you should just ISO them out of your mind. This is a team you got to build and build it big and build it now. So yeah, yeah, B for this team. Moving on. Team number 4. It's a Kree team. It's a filler team, and it's pretty much junk. These two are plug and play. Don't touch the rest. You're just building up those minions to get Furies, stars, and that's about it. Healer and Striker are fine. I don't know what she's going to be on her A-Force team. So for right now, if you're a person who hasn't built Captain Marvel, I don't know what she's going to be. I haven't looked at her kit. I'll try and get that information to you guys later. She was a Striker, and then she's a hero brawler, so she can go in on that YA team as a flex pick as a Striker and get some synergy with Ms. Marvel. So Striker is a good secondary pick for sure, but I just don't know for sure if it's her primary pick. Yeah, is what it is. You could put level 1 ISOs on these guys. It's a junk filler team. I'm going to go with an A-. Probably pull these guys off and throw them someplace else. You see, the reason why I'm only going like A- and like a B for these teams is because not much is being wasted on these teams. I don't like the wasteful investment in Ronin here, but otherwise not much is being wasted. So I can still give them a high grade because, you know, you can make simple changes on these rosters and like a placement change or swap out a character. That doesn't cost you anything. So I don't dock people hard for those kinds of mistakes. It's when you invest heavily in the wrong ISO or invest heavily in a tune that can't be used elsewhere. Like this team. I hate this team because I think Doc Ock dies easiest on his Sinister Six team. And so I don't like people investing in the Sinister Six, I don't know, sub characters. Doc Ock's a pretty good character, used to be great, but he's kind of fallen off. But he's a good flex pick, like a plug and play character for other builds. On this team, he just falls apart because like Mysterio dies and then spawns his little clone people and they die real easy, and that just gives speed to those speed meta teams like Axemen and Symbiotes to roll over this really easily. If you really want to build in this team, use them on offense. Like, they can take out the Black Order and stuff. So there's still value in the team. Just don't put them on defense. If you're going to put Doc Ock on defense, do it on a hybrid team. Let's see. If you're going to run this team, Striker, I like Skirmisher. Raider is good, but I also like Skirmisher there. Skirmisher or Striker is a good pick here. And then Raider for Rhino is what he should be. And then of course Doc Ock is a healer. So those ISOs aren't terrible, but they're not great either. You do have Rhino next to Doc Ock, and that's good because he does a cleanse, and that's what you want him for, is his cleanse. I think you should probably take Mysterio off of this team to start and replace him with, I don't know, Swarm, I guess. I don't know. Really, I think you should pull Doc Ock off of this team and put him somewhere else on a hybrid. I'm going to give you a C for this team. It doesn't excite me. I don't think people should be using the full Sinister Six team, not on defense anyway, and I think you need to make some changes to those ISOs. Moving on, team number 6 is the Hydra with Zemo. Let's get some level 1 fortifiers on those minions for sure, and then your Zemo makes this team really wonky lopsided, but that's okay. Yeah, get level 1 fortifier on those minions for sure. That's important on this build because these guys are really easy, and anybody that comes in here with an AoE big enough to damage him is going to wipe out all 3 of them in one shot, and you won't have to hit them too many times to kill them. And if they're coming in with that extra barrier, it's going to be that much tougher, that much more stubborn. Also, honestly, I think you're wasting your Zemo here. I think you throw in another minion. Throw in another minion and use Zemo on offense. He's too valuable in today's wars, man. He is just too valuable. So let's get Zemo out of here. If you had this team built up a little bit more, I'd say, okay, that's what you want to do. But Zemo's too valuable to be thrown on this wonky power level team like this. So I'm going to go with a B- on this. Get some fortifiers, swap out for another minion. I don't even care which one. Team number 7. What is this? What is this? Huh? Okay. All right, you got Juggernaut with Magneto. You want the blinds to pop off early. You've got Loki in here doing I don't know what. She's got some I mean, she's got some X-Force synergy here, but not really. And I was gonna say she's got some mutant synergy here, but not really. All she's doing is target locking from her own kit, and that's it. Let's see, you got Raider, Skirmisher, so she is getting some double taps for bleed damage, I think is all her basic does. I don't remember what her basic does. Man, I never see the X-Force on defense that much, so I never really pay attention to it. Okay, and then Juggernaut as a fortifier is kind of unnecessary, but it's something to do. Juggernaut doesn't have a great pick for his ISO. I like Juggernaut probably as a Raider because of his multi-hit attacks. You know, he hits a bunch of people, and they're usually clumped together, so you get a lot out of it. So that should probably be Raider, but he's not important enough to change. Go ahead and keep him as a fortifier on your build, but if you're somebody else thinking about building the Brotherhood or Brotherhood 2.0, go with a Raider on that. I like Raider here for crit damage. Yeah, I would go Skirmisher level 5 for Loki. You do use his defense down in like arena and stuff if you're gonna build him up big, but like you kind of got to build him really big to compete in the arena. Otherwise, you can use him in the arena just for his kit, the time change on his kit, and then you don't need to build him at all. So it's either one or the other. You're kind of in the middle right here with this. I think this is hot garbage. I think you could use an X-Force team on offense. It's not great anymore, but you could use them. And then I think you got a Brotherhood team that you could use on offense. And then I think you got Loki, who you could use changing the speed of like a Chavez Eternals team or something like that. So I think break this up, go with something else. The ISOs on this team aren't horrible, although I think, what are we running Deadpool as? Yeah, we're running him as a Raider because he bounces around a lot. So that's probably right. So I think the ISOs are good. This could change, but I think the ISOs are good enough. And I just think you need to be using different teams. So break this up and use them in their different teams. This is kind of like just some leftover junk you threw in. I'm going to go with a C. I think it's kind of wasteful. Symbiotes. Striker probably should be Skirmisher. Raider. Striker's good. Definitely want to change him to a Striker. I know he's a healer, but his kit is just way too good as a Striker. Raider's great, Skirmisher's great. So change these two ISOs and your placement is okay. I can give you a B+ for that team. Just change those two ISOs. Team number 9, Heroes for Hire. We're seeing people taking Shang-Chi off of this team and putting Dormammu in here. Word is from Drunken Gleam, check out his video. I'll put a link in the description to it. Word is that Dormammu actually revives them after all their charges are gone. So you get an extra revive on this team. It stacks differently than the way it says in his kit because he's not supposed to be able to revive people like Adam Warlock who revive on their own. But these guys revive through a charge system, so Dormammu gives them an extra revive. And so if you're at the high end or looking at unlocking your Dormammu pretty soon, you can take Shang-Chi off, put him on some awesome hybrids that we've seen in some of my previous videos. Be sure to watch those. And then or you could just use him for offense to do some amazing stuff. I mean, turn meter rewind and healer, all sorts of stuff. So I love the placement. I like the ISOs. You could change him to a Skirmisher or a Raider. And you can also think about when you get into the big boy leagues and you start unlocking Dormammu, you can think about taking Shang-Chi off. But otherwise, I'm being told that these tricky teams where the Shang-Chi is built up real big, doesn't matter how powerful you are. Doesn't matter. The Shang-Chi will just catch people off guard and delete them. So I was advising a 400 power level. Now I'm saying just as long as your Shang-Chi is built up big, doesn't matter what your power level is up here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give you an A for this team. I think it looks great and you're on the right track with that. Team number 10 is the Infinity Watch. Definitely move this. Definitely move this to offense. They are still one of the most powerful teams in the game. You use them every single war to do something. You know, if your entire roster is on offense and you just put those shield minion guards, right, those drones in on defense and leave your defense completely empty, doesn't really matter, because even in the big leagues, like even in like the top 8, it really just depends on how fast you can get through. So if you can get your 10, 12, 14 wins on offense and you're just showing up at the beginning of war, it doesn't matter what you have on defense. So use your best stuff on offense first, like this team, and then use the rest on defense. Let's see. Skirmisher on Adam Warlock. That's because you want to land certain negative effects, and that's okay. I like him as a striker, but that's okay. A lot of people are running him as skirmisher for that focus boost. And you got striker, and then healer over here. Well, on defense, I guess healer's probably the way to go for her, but she turns out to be a really slow player. I like her as a striker for extra damage, especially when we were running them in arena and you needed her to come back in after a death proof was removed and they had 1 hit point and you just needed her to tap them and kill them. So that's why I used to run her as a striker. But I mean, I guess on defense, then that's what we're talking about. Healer's probably the way to go here. So I can't give you an A because this team is so important on offense, but I'll give you an A-, and you did this team right for defense, so it's a thing to do. This is more of like, if you told me you were on vacation, this was your AFK defense, I would give you the A for it. But we're gonna go A- because I really think you should be using them on defense. Okay, this has been Ricky P's Defense Up video. If you like what you saw, hit like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. And remember, guys, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too, and I will catch you next time. Bye.